Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you came to join me on this special day. It's always a special day when I get a chance to be with you. Sorry. Well, I want to send a special hello to Lutfia, who might be watching from Turkey at this moment, because I got your message loud and clear. Hope you're well. And the next thing, I'm welcoming you all, but I do want to make this note, and following what David did so beautifully on Friday, and that is to wish Mary a very, very happy 90th birthday. Yeah, that's Mary Partenfelder, Tim's mom. And Tim is one of our dearest, most treasured members of the Advancement Center. So, welcome to you all to the Advancement Center, and welcome to the world, or to, I should say, your world of magic and miracles. Perhaps we don't realize the miracles that we're living every day, but it's fun to just sit and remember some fabulous, wonderful memories. So I'm going to start today with reading in my journal, and that's for you newcomers. I write in and I address it to Simeon, and that's Robert Young's twin brother, and he lives in a different realm. So here we go. Whoops, it's heavy. There. Now, if I could read my writing, it'd be great. Okay. Sunday, August 17th, 2025 at 7:04 a.m. Dearest Simeon, today is my broadcast, and my thoughts it's my handwriting, I have no excuse. Oh, and my thoughts are to share my 2020 vision. Oh, well. I guess it's 2020 vision of the past, which I have filled with love which I have, yeah, and am filled with love and amazement. I have been living a life in my own world of magic and miracles. The journey reveals so much to me now, so I reflect on the magic of right now, and truly the magic of life, which is an amazing, beautiful story by Robert. And there's a magic of life too, as well. And this is what Simeon responded with. Dearest Barbara, as Robert has told you, you have always been accompanied and never left alone. Your life is a testament of the life you are living and having, and the love you have brought with you to be with Robert. We adore you. Love, Simeon. Isn't that a wonderful way to start the day? To write to a best friend and have an immediate answer as beautiful as that one. Today is different. Did I wish Mary a happy birthday yet? I did. Thank you, Robert, because I don't want to forget that. That's a very, very important landmark, which I will be visiting in the near future. You know, Robert and I live here in Santa Barbara. And as I look at our life, it's a charmed one. Every day is filled to the brim with preparation, broadcasts, celebrations, being in contact with our family, and then preparing for the next event. And that is exciting and wonderful. And in the quiet times in between all that preparation, I have a wonderful time because I don't have 2020 vision anymore, Lord knows, but I have 2020 vision of the past. And sitting there and watching chapters of experiences go by, and people and friends and travels, it's all very wonderful. So I thought perhaps I would share some of that with you today. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I am extremely fortunate for all the life experiences I have had. I've traveled. I think the only countries I haven't been to are China and Russia. And that's been enriching and wonderful and exciting. And to be able to go back to any moment in time is lovely and entertaining. I remember there was a movie called Look Back in Anger. And I said, no, 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 no. I look back in awe of all that has happened. The adversity, the challenges, meeting with each of them with success, experiencing motherhood, 3 beautiful children who have grown up to be very beautiful, successful friends. And we speak of following your spirit because you are really never alone. There is a spirit that's guiding you, whether or not you acknowledge their presence. but I have a spirit that bounces along with me, and I just think of him as Jiminy Cricket. And it's Jiminy Cricket that holds all these amazing stories and reminds me of so many fabulous experiences. I don't know where to go first. I've sung in concert halls around the world, and that's exciting. But I think I want to tell you the story of Ibiza, or is it spelled Ibiza? Because that stands out as remarkable to me. Ibiza is an island off the coast of Barcelona, Spain. And this is the beginning. In 1972, my marriage came to a close with a divorce. Yes, 1972. It was all the rigmarole was completed in about the first day of June. And so word got around, and I got a beautiful call from my absolute favorite cousin, Peter. We've been close for years. And he congratulated me on my divorce and invited me to visit him in Ibiza. And it sounded wonderful. And as I thought about it, my 3 kids were all enrolled in camp. And what was I going to do? I hadn't been alone in my whole life since that wedding day. So after giving it a little thought, I cabled Peter and said, yeah, I'd love to come. But he didn't answer me. So I cabled him again. Maybe he changed his mind. I don't know. No word from Peter. And here I had just decided, yes, I'm going to go to Ibiza. Yeah. But I didn't have any verification. And I even called his friends in Seattle that I knew and had visited Peter in Ibiza. And they said, oh, go. You'll have a marvelous time. And if you want to get in touch with Peter, just call the Hotel Montesol and ask to speak to Peter with the rose-colored glasses, and you'll be able to get him on the phone. I will? Oh, okay. I cabled Peter again. No answer. So I said, oh, okay, I'm going. And I bought my ticket. My ex-in-laws drove me to the airport. My kids were all in camp. And I flew to Barcelona. And when I got off the plane, I went to the first phone booth, and this is delicious from this point of view of my remembering. And I called the Hotel Montesol in Ibiza. And it must have been lunchtime because the guy answered the phone and he was harried. And I said, I just flew in from America. I would like to speak to Peter with the rose-colored glasses. And he said, look, lady, this is the lunch crush. I can't talk to you now. Good luck. And I went, no, Peter. Hotel Montesol, no connection. Oh boy, what's going to happen now? So I went over to the flights to Ibiza, and there was a flight in the morning, but it wasn't going to happen until 3 days later. So I had 3 days mandatory visit to Barcelona. And the cab driver that I got was really very, very nice. And he understood my plight, but he also told me that he was a tour director and he gave tours around Barcelona, and he would be happy to show me Barcelona. And that's what happened. But that night, I said, but my luggage is at the airport. So he drove me to the airport to get my luggage. And while I was there, I said, you know, if there had been a flight, I would be arriving in Ibiza now. So I went to the counter and I paged, this is important, I paged Peter. And I said, I'll be on the flight in 3 days and it arrives at this time. I had no verification of what was happening. But Jose drove me back and he suggested that I go to this nice little hotel right off the Los Ramblas, which is the main drag in Barcelona with all the attractions. So for the next 3 days, I stayed at a hotel in Barcelona. I traveled around with Jose, who couldn't be nicer and without charge. And he must have shown me every installation of Gaudi's art, Gaudi's sculpture. If you don't know Gaudi, just look him up. It's amazing. He made columns, big columns, and they all look like elephant legs. He was whimsical, imaginative, and hard to believe at sometimes. And so for the next 3 days, I was wined and dined and shown everything, and I was quite well versed in Barcelona. And the third day in the morning, I grabbed a cab, went out to the airport, and boarded my flight to Ibiza, which was the original plan. I got on the flight, and I remember saying to the woman next to me, what am I doing? I'm flying to a destination where I don't even think I'll be met. And this is all quite miraculously mysterious. And she smiled. I didn't know what I was doing, but Spirit must have been with me, because I got off the flight in Ibiza, a bright, sunny, sunshiny day, and I looked up the path, and there was Peter, my beautiful cousin Peter, leaning against a column. And he said, welcome to Ibiza. That's magic. And and the most magical thing was, how did he know I was on this flight? He said, well, you'll never believe this, but I was seeing someone off at the airport 3 nights ago, and I hear this page, Peter Katims. I said, who knows I'm here? This is wild. And he picks up the page and he learns about my flight. Now, that was just the beginning of 7 weeks of magic and miracles in Ibiza, where I discovered Barbara. And it was wonderful because Peter said, you're at Ibiza, but you're not attached to me. You're going to rent your own car. You're going to have your own life at last, and you're going to discover who Barbara is. So that was my trip to Ibiza. Many, many more things like that have happened. And I hope on these broadcasts, I can share some more magic with you. Thanks for listening. I just didn't realize that the magic was so powerful. And the magic in your life is powerful. Acknowledge it. So as I said when I opened this, if I remember to say it, I have 20/20 vision of my beautiful past and 20/20 vision for the beautiful future that I wish for all of you. But before I come to a close, I now will show you the artwork of this week, which I almost forgot. Whoops. There it is. Everything is backwards. I had fun doing this one. It was a departure because I'm used to big rolling hills and gardens and flowers, but the detail of the boat was another challenge. So until we meet again, enjoy a most perfect life and with perfect health and a future jam-packed with joys, memories, happiness, friendships, everything good. And I'll see you next week. And thanks for coming today. I am Barbara.